quick,
quick,
quick, quick, quick.
quick. 아주 빠른.
Just be patient. Let the game come to you. Don't rush. Be quick, but don't hurry.
Just be patient. Let the game come to you. Don't rush. Be quick. But don't hurry.
Just be patient. Let the game come to you. Don't rush. Be quick, but don't hurry.
Just be patient. Let the game to you. Don't rush. Be quick. But don't hurry.
I was trying to think of a quick solution to the sudden problem.
I would try to think of the quick solution to the certain problem. I would try to think of the quick solution to find the certain problem. I would try to think of the quick solution to the certain problem. I would try to think of quick solution to the certain problem.
His eyes were the most quick and piercing I ever beheld.
His eyes were the most quick and piercing I ever beheld. His eyes were the most quick and piercing I beheld.
Grass.
Grass.
Summer is the annual permission slip to be lazy. To do nothing and have it count for something. To lie in the grass and count the stars. To sit on a branch and study the clouds.
Summer is annual permission slip to be lazy, to do nothing, and have it count for something. To lie in the grass and count the stars. To sit on the branch and study the cloud. The summer is annual permission slip to the lazy, to do nothing and have it count for something. To lie in grass and count the stars. To sit on the branch and start to cloud.
The grass was brown and needed to be watered.
The grass was brown, was needed to water. The grass was brown and needed to be watered.
They will scour the jungle for him when he is far away, and we and our children must run when the grass is set alight.
They will scour the jungle for him when he is far away, and we are our children must run when he grass is set alight. We will scour the jungle for him when he was far away, and we and our children must run when the grass is set alight.
State. I've never once made a hire just because someone went to an Ivy League school instead of a state school.
I've never once made in hire just because someone wanted to an Ivy League school instead of the state school. I've never once made a hire just because someone went to an Ivy League school instead of the state school. I've never once made a hire just because someone went to an Ivy League school instead of the state school.
The office was in a state of chaos after they went bankrupt.
The office was in state of the chaos after they went bankrupt. The office was in state of the chaos after they went bankrupt.
If a state is governed by the principles of reason, poverty and misery are subjects of shame. If a state is not governed by the principles of reason, riches and honors are the subjects of shame.
If a state is governed by the principle of religion, poverty and misery are subjects of the shame. If a state is not governed by the principle of religion, riches and honor are the subjects of the shame.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Your morning sets up the success of your day. So many people wake up and immediately check text messages, emails, and social media. I use my first hour awake for my morning routine of breakfast and meditation to prepare myself.
Your morning set up the success of your day, so many people wake up and immediately check text message, email, and social media. I use my first hour awake for my morning routine of the breakfast and meditation to prepare myself.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Early in the morning, Ricky Tikki came to early breakfast in the veranda riding on Teddy's shoulder, and they gave him banana and some boiled egg.
Early in the morning, Ricky Tikki came to early breakfast in the veranda, lying on the Teddy's shoulder, and they gave me banana and some boiled egg.
Certain.
Certain.
A doubtful friend is worse than a certain enemy.
The doubtful friend is worse than a certain enemy. The doubtful friend is worse than a certain enemy.
I was certain that I would pass the examination.
I was certain that I would pass the examination. I was certain that I would pass the examination.
I was certain that I would pass the examination.
I was certain that I would pass the examination.
I am certain I heard a laugh, and a strange one.
I am certain I heard a laugh and a strange one. I was certain I heard a laugh and a strange one.
Cook.
Cook.
Destroying rainforest for economic gain is like burning a Renaissance painting to cook a meal.
Destroy rainforest for economic gain in like bombing a Renaissance painting for a cook or meal.
Destroying rainforest for economic gain is like burning a Renaissance painting to cook a meal.
Destroy rainforest for economic gain in like burning a Renaissance painting for cook or meal. Destroy rainforest for economic gain in like burning a Renaissance paint to cook or meal.
The husband and wife like to cook together.
The husband and wife like to cook together. The husband and wife like to cook together.
I left Quincy lying down after having a glass of wine, and told the cook to get ready a good breakfast. I left Quincy lying down after having a glass of wine, and told the cook to get ready a good breakfast.
I left the king lie down after having a glass of wine, and told the cooking to get ready a good breakfast.
Bored.
Bored.
He who loves practice without theory is like the sailor who boards ship without a rudder and compass and never knows where he may cast.
He who loves the patience without the theory is like the sailor who boards the sea without the ruler and compass and never known where he may cast.
He who loves practice without theory is like the sailor who boards ship without a rudder and compass and never knows where he may cast.
He who loves the practice without theory, like a sailor who boards the sea without a ruler and compass and never know where he can cast.
Use a hammer to put the nails in the board.
Use a hammer to put the nail in the board. Use a hammer to put nail in the board.
The windows were broken and blocked with wooden boards.
The windows were broken and blocked with a wooden board.
Act.
Act. 연기하다.
The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterwards speaks according to his action.
The superior man acts before his act, and afterward speak according his action. The superior man acts before he speaks, and afterward speak according to his action.
Buying the stranger a meal was an act of kindness.
Buying a stranger a meal was act of the kindness.
Buying the stranger a meal was an act of kindness.
Buying a stranger a meal was act in kindness.
God will act in his own way and time. Do not fear, and do not rejoice as yet.
God will act his one way and time. Do not fear and do not rejoice as yet.
Clean.
Clean.
Clean. Clean. Clean.
Clean. Clean. Clean.
A transition to clean energy is about making an investment in our future.
A transition to clean energy is about making an investment in our future. The transition to clean energy is about making an investment in our future.
The house was clean before the party started.
The house was clean before the party started. The house was clean before the party started.
They played together like puppies, went to sleep on the clean sand, and played again.
The place together like a puppy, went to sleep on the clean sand, and play again.
Metal.
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 Metal. Metal. Metal.
Metal. Metal. Metal.
I love creating things, especially out of metal. There's something truly satisfying about shaping a piece of metal and seeing the impurities peeling away as you weld it into your chosen design.
I love creating things, especially out of the metal. There is something truly satisfying about the shape of a piece of the metal, and seeing impurity peeling away as you welding into your cool design.
Her necklace set off the metal detector.
His necklace set off the metal detector. Her necklace set off the metal detector.
Behind the main body was a huge mass of white metal like a gigantic fisherman's basket, and puffs of green smoke squirted out from the joints of the limbs as the monster swept by me.
Behind the main body was a huge mass of the white metal like a gigantic fisherman's breaker, and pure of the green smoke spurted up from the joint of the limb as the monster swept by me.
Branch.
Branch.
Politics is the entertainment branch of industry.
Politics is the entertainment branch of the industry. Politics is the entertainment branch of the industry.
The branch on the tree broke under the weight of the large bird.
The branch of the tree broke under the weight of the large bird. The branch of the tree broken under the weight of the large bird. The branch of the tree broken under weight of the large bird.
Mowgli thrust his dead branch into the fire till the twigs lit and crackled, and whirled it above his head among the cowering wolves.
Mowgli thrust his dead branch into fire till the wind lit and crackled, and whirling it about his head among the cowering wolves.
Study.
Study.
To acquire knowledge, one must study, but to acquire wisdom, one must observe.
To acquire knowledge, one must study, but to acquire wisdom, one must observe.
To acquire knowledge, one must study, but to acquire wisdom, one must observe.
One acquire knowledge, one must study, but to acquire wisdom, one must observe.
He decided to study design at university.
He decided to study design at university. He decided to study design at university.
He decided to study design at university.
He decided to study design at university.
As the school quieted down, Tom made an honest effort to study, but the turmoil within him was too great.
As the school quieted down, Tom made an honest least effort to study, but the tumult within him was too great.
Shape.
Shape.
Ideas shape the course of history.
Idea shaped the course of the history. Idea shaped the course of the history.
The baker made cookies in the shape of different animals.
The baker made the cookie in the shape of different animal. The baker made the cookie in the shape of different animal.
Slowly a humped shape rose out of the pit, and the ghost of a beam of light seemed to flicker out from it.
Slowly hummed shamed lodge out of the pit, and the ghost of the beam of the light seemed to prick out from of it.
Rush.
Lush.
Rush. Rush. Rush.
Lush. Lush. Lush.
You can't rush the science, but when the science points you in the right direction, then you can start rushing.
You can't rush science, but when science points you in the right direction, then you can start rushing. You can't rush in science, but when your science points you in right direction, then you can start rushing.
I didn't want to rush lunch with my friend, but I had an important meeting after that I couldn't miss.
I didn't want to rush lunch with my friend, but I had an important meeting after that I couldn't miss. I didn't want to rush lunch with my friend, but I had an important meeting after that I couldn't miss.
He heard the dining room window open, and a quick rush of feet within.
He heard the dining room window open and quick rush of the built within.
Pot.
Pot.
As you heat the planet up, it's just like boiling a pot.
As you heat the planet up, it's just like a boiling hot pot.
As you heat the planet up, it's just like boiling a pot.
As you heard in planet up, it's just like a boiling a pot.
I filled the pot with water and waited for it to boil.
I filled the pot with water and waiting for it to boil. I filled the pot with water and waiting for it to boil.
A pot of yellow rice with fish. Do you want some?
I pour a pot of the yellow rice with a fish. Do you want some? I pot of the yellow rice with a fish. Do you want some?